so I thought I would share how I've been making the strawberry cheesecake that a lot of you guys have been seeing and asking about in my social media sites. I posted a bunch about it, I think not last weekend, but the weekend before that. I made a 9x13 pan of it, and me and John basically demolished it in like, what, 2-3 days, John?
Easy.
It was bad. So you guys have been asking just kind of like how I did it and stuff. It's really simple, it's very affordable, so I thought, well, it's Father's Day here. John wanted some strawberry cheesecake, so I figured I might as well film while I make it. So sorry as always, this is just a very impromptu video. That seems to be like my thing lately, is just impromptu videos. So starting off, you're gonna need strawberries. I usually just get a 2-pound thing of strawberries from Costco because their strawberries are usually good around this season. It gives me enough for like how many strawberries I'll use in the cheesecake, and then I also slice some up to put on top of the cheesecake because me and John kind of like having extra strawberries. Also, having just fresh strawberries without any sugar or anything added to it on top kind of evens out the sweetness of the cheesecake. You also need a 9x13 pan. I like using this Pyrex glass one just because it comes with a lid that snaps on. So in regards to storing it in the refrigerator, it's just really nice because there's just like a lid that just goes on there, or if you're traveling with it, it's great for that. You also need 4 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. You can use light cream cheese if you want, but nobody around here is trying to be light. And you also want a 8-ounce thing of Cool Whip, which this is in the freezer section. I usually just let it, along with the cream cheese, sit out for a little bit to kind of soften up so it's easier to blend and mix together. I also use Pam. This is the Happy Baking nonstick, coating, because I like to spray the bottom of the pan. And then, I almost forgot, where is it? To make the crust, you're gonna need the graham cracker crumbs. You can either crumble your own up, but I just buy the box. And then you also need butter and sugar. You'll need sugar because that's what makes it so delicious, is the sugar. Along with those things, you'll want something to melt your butter in, so I just use this Pyrex glass container, a medium and big size bowl to mix everything together. I like using a hand mixer, so I just have my Cuisinart hand mixer. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm not a very organized baker, cooker, anything like that. I'm kind of like a chicken with her head cut off in the kitchen. Sometimes I'm really organized, but I don't know, stuff like this is kind of like, it's not really that big of a deal if I kind of just run around and get ingredients. I guess I should have been a little bit more organized for this video, but like I said, that's not how we do it here on this channel, apparently. Oh, you cut my hair, I'll hurt you, stop it. I don't even know what I look like right now. I didn't even look in the mirror before I started this. Oops, melted down a little bit too much. Woo! Alrighty, so starting off, we are going to make the crust because, well, that's just the easy part, and we'll set it aside. So like I said, I like to use this Pam baking spray because it's got low residue and stuff. The last time I made this, the crust came up perfectly fine, but it would just, I think, be easier just to have this down so that the crust comes up even easier. So I'm just gonna lightly spray the bottom of that. Then you're gonna take 2 cups of the graham crackers, which I realize you also need some measuring cups and also some measuring spoons. But I feel like that's a given. Like, do I really need to tell you guys every little thing that you need? Maybe I do. I'm that person. I need to know every little thing. Yes. So we're gonna do 2 cups of this finely crushed graham cracker. With the 2 cups, you're also gonna mix in your sugar. So you're gonna take 1/4 cup of sugar, and this is just in the crust, guys. So yeah, that just goes to show how unhealthy this cheesecake is. But it's so good. And then you're gonna put the 1/4 in, just mix it around with a fork. After your sugar is nicely mixed in, you can go ahead and take your melted butter and start mixing that in. I like to do a little bit at a time just to make sure the graham cracker all gets coated in the butter. And if you've never made a graham cracker crust, it's seriously super easy. You just keep mixing it together until it all gets kind of like moist. I hate that word, guys. Moist. Terrible word. Don't mind my kids, they're downstairs playing peacefully, as you can hear, because they get along so well all the time. Keep mixing, just keep mixing, la 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 la. Now John is actually leaving me for the next 3 days, so I'm gonna be stuck with all this leftover cheesecake. So if you see me next, I'm about 5 pounds heavier, that's why. So after it's all nicely mixed like that, you're just gonna start pouring it into your pan. So much stuff in my way. This is why I don't have my own cooking show, guys. Then you're just gonna spread out your crust. Spread it out. This is where I will start using my hands just because it's easier. But you're just gonna wanna make it as even as possible and just pack it down onto the bottom.
Kelly?
Yeah?
She's down here filming with her leap pad, making her own cooking show. Creating a monster.
Really? Kaya's making her own cooking show with her leap pad downstairs with her pretend kitchen stuff. That's so cute. Like mother, like daughter. I bet your hers is a little bit more organized than mine though.
How do you go back, Kaya?
Kaya's coming to teach John how to use leap pad. Alright, so we have our crust. Oh, she's so cute. Look at her little cooking. She's so cute. Oh, I've created a monster. Watch out, guys. Kaya might take over my channel. Anyway, so after that, you have your little crust. You can set that aside. You're not going to use that until everything else is finished. Next, after that, we're going to put all of our cream cheese into this really big bowl. You want a good sized bowl because you don't want it overflowing. I always have the issue, like for me when it comes to cooking and baking or mixing anything, bigger is always better when it comes to bowl size or container size, because I cannot tell you how many times I've made soup or things like this and thought, oh, I could use this medium-sized bowl, and then end up having to transfer stuff because it's overflowing. Like, am I the only person that happens to? I always joke with John that my spatial recognition when it comes to stuff like this is not very good. Rooms, however, oh, I can make a room, like I can make anything fit in a room. I am really good when it comes to spatial like stuff with like rooms and furniture and all of that, and even packing in cars. But for some reason with baking, in cooking, I'm like, I always think like, oh, it'll fit. It never fits. This video is like giving me all the like old school Kelly feels from like when the very beginning when I was like making baby food and doing my, you know, like first ever like soup video. You guys remember that? It's been a long time, guys. Like I was thinking about it and we're going in like 8, Kaya's gonna be 5 in October. And I started vlogging about a year before she was born. So it'll be 6 years in October. A long time that you guys have been a part of my life, so we're like best friends, right? Is that how it goes? You guys actually are probably some of the longest standing friends that I have that I don't really know, but oh well. Now that I have my cream cheese in here, I'm gonna beat it together just to soften it, and then I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of sugar and then beat it some more. So now I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of sugar. I like to kind of add this in increments of 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna do 3 1/4 cups, obviously. So smart with the numbers. And then I'll beat it a little bit more and then put the other 2 in, you know, one at a time, just so that I can evenly disperse the sugar.
What's wrong?
I need you to run to the grocery store.
For what?
Okay, so I totally forgot to mention, and I thought I didn't have it, but luckily, I'm more prepared than you think. Sometimes it's accidentally prepared, but anyways, I forgot to mention one of the most important parts of this recipe. You also need a jar of strawberry preserves because you're going to use a 1/2 cup of it. I like to use this Bon Maman strawberry preserves. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I like to use that because it's just like, I don't know, it tastes really good. That's the only reason. But you're gonna use a 1/2 cup of that. So if you get this jar, you can get 2 uses out of it. You're gonna take the strawberry preserves and then you're gonna add it to the cream cheese and sugar after you've added all your sugar in. But yeah, don't forget this, guys, at the grocery store. I always forget something at the grocery store. I don't know what it is about me. Even I can be the most organized as ever and I still forget one thing on my list. So if you don't have strawberries that are necessarily super sweet or in season, this kind of saves it along with the 5 pounds of sugar that we added. Joking. The 3/4 cup sugar that we added. So we'll mix that all together now. After you've gone and mixed all of that together, set that aside, and then you're gonna start working on your fresh strawberries. So I just rinsed out the bowl that I mixed the crust in, and you're gonna use 2 cups of chopped up. I like to finely chop mine up because we're gonna be mashing the strawberries. I don't mind a little bit of chunkiness in my cheesecake, neither does my husband or anyone else who's ever had this, so I don't really mash it too much, but I do like to finely chop it as much as possible. So I'm gonna add 2 cups, and then I'm gonna put the remaining amount of sugar that we're using for this recipe. I swear that's it. It's 2 tablespoons into here, and mash it together. Again, I'm just gonna go ahead and use that same fork that I used to do my graham cracker mixture. I'm gonna mix the strawberries and the sugar together. And then I'm just gonna mash them a little bit. Because I finely chopped them, it's really not that big of a deal. I don't need to mash them too much. But just to kind of get it a little bit more juicy and get the flavor out, that's why I mash the strawberries. Alright, so this is as mashed as I'm making it. As you can see, it's still kind of clumpy, but that doesn't bother me at all. We're gonna add that to the cream cheese mixture. And you're also gonna take the Cool Whip and add the entire tub full into here. And again, most Cool Whip, I think all Cool Whip is sold in the freezer section, so you wanna make sure this is thawed. So just leave it out and make sure it's soft so it mixes easier with everything else. It's taking all my willpower right now not to just lick all this Cool Whip off of this spoon, but I won't do it. I won't do it. Now we're going to mix all of this yummy stuff together once again. And then once that's done, pop off your beaters and of course lick all the stuff off because it's delicious. And it should look something like this. Now, if you're not interested in making a cheesecake, this makes an amazing, and I mean an amazing fruit topper. So say you'd rather like serve fresh fruit like blueberries and pineapple and apple and strawberries and raspberries and all that good stuff in a bowl. This stuff, just like a little dollop of it on top, it tastes so good. Like, I could just sit here and just take a spoon to this, but we won't. We won't. Instead, we're gonna put it in our 9x13 pan on top of the crust because we're making a cheesecake. After we have the cheesecake filling in there, we're just gonna smooth it out and make sure it's even into the pan. The rest of this will settle pretty flat after you put it in the refrigerator. After this, you're pretty much done. You just put it in the refrigerator covered for about 4 hours and then it's ready to serve. Since we kind of are impatient people, I usually stick mine actually in the freezer covered for about 2 hours and then it's good to go after that. And then I just store it in the refrigerator until it's gone. Okay, so it is nighttime and I apologize, but after the Father's Day lunch, we just got caught up in other things, but this is what it looks like. This is really messy. You can smooth it out to look nicer. I don't really care because once you slice it up and put strawberries on it, you can't really see what the top looks like. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and it's really, really tasty. Like I said, I did cut up the rest of the strawberries out of that 2-pound container, and then I use this as toppings. And there you guys have it. That is how I make my strawberry cheesecake. It is delicious. So yeah, I think that just about answers everything. Like I said, I'm sorry for kind of the disorganized everything, but it's Father's Day and I was trying to enjoy my time with the family and John, but again, I didn't want to waste this opportunity because I don't know when I'll make this next because I've now made it twice in 1 month, so I thought I would just film it for you real quick. So if you like videos like this, in other words, I don't know, not necessarily videos like this because this was really unorganized, but if you like baking, cooking videos, let me know. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye!